The meeting has concluded between the Uttar Pradesh CM and the Prime Minister. The meeting lasted for about 80 minutes and all the things and all the key issues that we've been telling to you and our viewers about have been officially discussed in this meeting. Of course, the point of contention here remains that whether the government of whether the BJP and its central leadership has once again reiterated its full faith in UP CM Yogi Adityanath, and that's something that we can tell that yes, in fact, that is something that has been done by the central leadership. From now onwards, it is expected that the UP CM will now go and meet the BJP president as well on similar lines as the meeting between the Prime Minister and the Home Minister that he's had. It is likely that the same issues would be discussed here once again. The forward strategy of what can be done and what needs to be done with respect to the UP elections would be once again looked into. More importantly, the communication channels between the MPs, the MLAs, the cabinet ministers need to be open. That is something that we are picking up right now. It was one of the conclusions of the meeting as well. All in all, the first time around, mind you, this is the first time around that the UP CM has in fact stayed in the national capital for 3 days. That in itself speaks volume that how crucial this meeting could would have been. This is the first time in 4 years ever since he became the chief minister that he spent 3 days in the national capital.
Right. So after meeting the BJP National President JP Nadda, Mohit, what more is expected throughout the day? As far as UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is concerned, any more meetings lined up, or is he then headed back to Lucknow?
Well, of course, there are several smaller meetings that would also take place here in the national capital. Of course, there are several leaders who would be meeting the the UP CM as well, in order to ensure that there could be a further realignment of schemes and centers schemes in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and that is something that is still on the cards. Whether the UP CM would be leaving today itself is something that we really are waiting and would have to watch really, but. The third big arrangement, the meeting or the meeting arrangement that has been arranged for today is between the UP CM and the BJP president. As I pointed out earlier as well, there have been a key list of issues that have already been scripted. Several of them, including the alliance members and the center scheme, and more importantly, as to what would be the forward strategy as well. Several new leaders, including the likes of Uttar Pradesh, have also joined in the party. So of course, those would also be discussed as to what really would their role be. The responsibility and roles of several leaders, whether we talk about the center or the state, would also be defined in this all crucial meeting between the UP CM and the Bharatiya Janata Party's national president. Well, you know what, and of course, this happens to be the third meeting really between the central leadership of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the UP CM. If you look at it, yesterday it started with the Home Minister, of course, and the whole point of contention, the whole reason behind these ongoing meetings has been to ensure that there can be a streamlining in the functioning of the UP government. First and foremost, we saw the Union Home Minister speak to the UP CM. That meeting lasted for about 90 minutes or so. The pictures that came out were a very clear message to not just the citizens of Uttar Pradesh, but also to the opposition parties and the MLAs and its own leaders of Uttar Pradesh as well, going to the tune of saying that all is well between the party and the UP CM, and there is nothing to be worried about. The party will continue to work under the leadership of Yogi Adityanath, the UP CM in Uttar Pradesh, and more importantly, that there are fresh schemes which need to be implemented in the state of Uttar Pradesh as well. Secondly, today's meeting is furthermore crucial because today Yogi Adityanath, the UP CM, not only gave a full-fledged the working dynamics of his government, but more importantly, he also shared with the Prime Minister as to what exactly has the government been doing in order to with regards to the developmental works which have happened since 2017, but also with the recent onset of the pandemic as well, as to what kind of preparations have been made, what really have been the the kind of measures that have been taken during the second surge of the coronavirus, and what exactly are the preparations that have already been made with respect to the third wave, if at all it comes here in India. And finally, of course, there was also discussions regarding the vaccination processes as well. So all of those were discussed. This is something that the UPCM had to tell to the Prime Minister as well. More importantly, there have been several apprehensions that have been cast over by the alliance members as well as the party's own leadership with regards to the communication channels. If you look at it, there have been several MPs and the MLAs who've called the UPCM as inaccessible.